Well, good evening. Welcome to North Carolina A&T Graduate School's virtual open house. We really appreciate the time that you've taken to join us this evening. We're very excited to share with you not only our graduate programs, but to share with you our faculty and share with you our graduate students. We know that you're interested particularly in programs in the graduate programs in the School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. But before that, we're going to take you on a little virtual tour of addressing questions that we know you as a prospective student have. I'm Dean Campbell. I'm the Assistant Dean for Academic Services in the Graduate School, and I'll be your moderator for this evening. You're going to hear about questions that we know prospective students have, like how to pay for graduate school. That's always important. What does it take to apply and gain admission to graduate school? And then what does the campus look like? We know you're on a virtual, we know you're with us virtually tonight. Some of you are dialing in from out of state. Some of you are dialing in from out of the country. So we're happy to share with you a little piece of A&T that you'll get a chance to see virtually. So let's start off with the question, how do I apply to graduate school? I'm going to walk you through a very short slide presentation. We won't spend too much time on this because not unlike many other research universities, the application and admission process is pretty straightforward. So as we're loading up that slide presentation, I'll just give you a little overview about what it takes to gain admission and why you might apply here to A&T. First of all, A&T is a Carnegie Research University. Our faculty are engaged in first-rate research, looking at questions in each of their fields, and you're going to hear from both the faculty in our School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, as well as some of the students and some of the specific research they're working with. But we're very excited about the fact that the faculty are engaged in this work. We have over 30 master's programs, and over the last year, we've added a few other doctoral programs. So we're up to 9 doctoral programs now. Much of the research is interdisciplinary. The faculty are working with colleagues across the 7 schools that house graduate programs. A&T is third ranked in terms of research funding among the UNC system universities here. Again, that speaks to the amount of activity and engagement that the faculty have in their work. Next slide, please. So what does it take to apply to A&T? We have our online application. You can access that from our website, www.ncat.edu/grad. And almost all of the application process can take place right online. So you don't necessarily have to visit campus if you're going to be a distance learning student, for example. You can complete the whole process virtually and online by remote. We require typically 3 letters of recommendation, a statement of purpose, talking about your academic as well as your professional goals and interests, transcripts from any and all post-secondary institutions that you've attended, and as well as the application fee, which is right now $45. There may be specific program requirements or program admission requirements, including tests or language proficiency scores if you studied outside of the United States in a non-English speaking country. Finally, you might want to take note of our deadlines. Our next open academic term is spring 2014, and the application deadline for domestic students is November 1 for spring. November 1 for international students and December 1 for domestic students. And then you can see there the other deadlines for the following fall and summer. Next slide, please. When you submit all your materials to the graduate school, our office will qualify you. Once all those required materials have been received, we'll send your materials over to the specific program that you apply to, so the faculty can review them. So it's really a 2-step process. The Admissions is mostly on a rolling basis, except for some programs which have different application deadlines, and again, you can check our website for that. But typically, you can expect to receive an admission decision within 2 weeks after you submit all the required documents. Next slide, please. If you have any questions at all regarding the status of your application, you should first check your online portal, which is accessible through the user credentials that you'll set up. If you have further questions, you can contact any of the professional staff, our STAR associates on the Student Transition and Retention team in the graduate school, and I've listed here the individuals who are assigned to each one of the academic schools housing all of our graduate programs. Next slide, please. And then finally, we just offer a few helpful tips that we've talked about here. First, just note our deadlines. Any standardized tests like GRE scores or TOEFL scores, we want to make sure those are received by our application deadline. Make sure all official transcripts are sent in to the graduate school. We suggest that you identify any professors or professionals in your field to submit recommendations for you, and again, those can be done online. And again, take note of the deadline. Okay, so that's the basic overview for applying to graduate school. I know I've kind of breezed through that very quickly. We'll have a chance at the end to talk about any specific questions you may have about the process. But you may also have a question about how do I pay for graduate school. So we'll talk very briefly about some of the merit-based assistantship and scholarship funds that are available at A&T. Again, not unlike any other research university. We do offer merit-based scholarships, which are open to high-qualifying students. And most of these take the form of either research or teaching assistantships. And I'll talk a little bit about each one of those here at A&T as we work to get that slide presentation loaded. It may take us a minute to find it, but I'll talk very quickly about what those assistantships look like. So first, our assistantships are largely, again, just like another research university, graduate students who are helping to support the teaching and the research mission of the university. Graduate students are working with faculty to assist them in teaching undergraduate courses by grading papers, assisting in laboratory work, advising students, and so forth. Students who are admitted to master's or PhD programs on an unconditional basis are eligible for those types of teaching assistantships. And you'll see here on this slide that I've really just spent the last minute or two talking about the teaching assistantship. We also offer research assistantships and administrative assistantships. And I highlighted a few of the qualification criteria to be eligible for those. Mostly being enrolled as a full-time student and maintaining a 3.0 GPA in a graduate program that you've been admitted to. Next slide, please. And again here, this just kind of highlights what I mentioned about the teaching assistantship. Many of our teaching assistants are in the science, technology, engineering, or STEM areas. And so if you have undergraduate or maybe a master's background in any one of those fields, we highly encourage you to apply for a graduate teaching assistantship. Next slide, please. All of our merit-based assistantships are administered from the graduate school. These are not assistantships that you can apply for directly. They are awarded through faculty nomination to students who have been admitted already to a graduate program. So the action step for any prospective student is really to apply, gain admission by our priority deadline, which is March 1, so that the faculty in the department can nominate your application or applications with high promise to the graduate school to be eligible for a merit-based assistantship. Some of these assistantships are target out-of-state students. Some target in-state students. Some are awarded through the graduate school, and are supplemented by either the provost's office or the dean's office. And again, I've listed these here with some of the eligibility criteria. Next slide, please. In addition to teaching assistantships, there are across the university several administrative units that require assistance from graduate student workers to carry out the function of their offices. And so they will hire graduate administrative assistants who also receive either tuition and stipend awards. You might contact after, should you gain admission to the university, to seek some kind of financial resource. Next slide, please. So we talked a little bit about how to finance graduate school through our merit-based assistantship programs and resources. These are available on our website. I put the URL here. You can also navigate to this, again, through our main homepage, www.ncat.edu/grad. And again, if you have any questions or want us to speak in further detail, we'll have time at the end for you to raise your hand by clicking in or by through our chat room. You can send in your question. So what I'd like to do now is give us a chance to talk a little bit more about how to finance graduate school. We'd like to welcome Mr. Case Gregory from the university's financial aid office to join us today, talk a little more about how to finance graduate school. So, Mr. Gregory, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Case Gregory. I am a financial aid counselor here at North Carolina A&T State University, and I'll go over some of the ways of applying for money to grad school. Unfortunately, once you exit the undergrad realm and enter grad school, all the grants and free monies from the government go bye-bye, and it's pretty much loans, okay? So we'll go over how to apply for those loans. Next slide. Starting off the application, I'm sure most of you would know the FAFSA.ed.gov is the pre-application for federal student aid. The first letter in that is free, so if you are filling out any other application that requires you to submit a credit card at the end, you are at the wrong website. You can go to FAFSA.ed.gov if you have all your information, your tax information, if you worked the previous year, submit that. They have a data retrieval. That's a link through the IRS that can manually pull your financial information in, and all you have to do is fill out institutional information and personal information. It's really easy. It has come a long way since the day of old. To sign the FAFSA, you need to register for a PIN. That's an electronic signature. At the PIN website, www.pin.ed.gov, and that is how you electronically sign your FAFSA. You can also print out the signature page and mail it in, but it does take 2 to 3 weeks longer to do it that way. So we always recommend a student doing everything online through the PIN website. It is not too late to apply to graduate school. For funds for graduate school, because the loans are everlasting. So you can always get your student loans. We just recommend that you have them in place before the deadline for the tuition payment is due. Next slide. Outside scholarships. Dr. Campbell talked about that earlier. Anything that you happen to find, please submit to the university. Church or civic organizations, any websites that are offering scholarships to graduate students, please feel free to submit the letter of offer to the financial aid office and instruct the benefactor of the scholarship to send that check to the university treasurer office. Next slide, please. Things to know, whenever you're doing a loan, you'll have to complete an entrance counseling session online. Every student has to do that when they're accepting loans for the first time. That is done at studentloans.gov. Also, you must sign a master promissory note. Now, this you only have to do once. So once you enter in and do this the first time, as long as you do not take a semester off, you will not have to do these again. In order to do the interest counseling promissory note, you must accept the loan on your Aggie Access in order for that to generate the need for a promissory note or interest counseling. So it's a three-step process. First, you go on your Aggie Access account and accept the loan. Second, you do the interest counseling, and third, you do the promissory note. Remember to only borrow what you need, okay, because they are loans and they do have to be paid back. Loans will not be dispersed until 30 days after classes begin, okay? So that is something to take note of, especially with first-time borrowers. If you have had direct loans in the past, you may not be subject to that 30-day grace period. But if you are a first-time borrower, you will be. Okay, next slide, please. Things to know: every student must maintain satisfactory academic progress. For graduate students, that is a 3.0 GPA. This slide was actually written for an undergrad presentation, but that GPA is a 3.0 for graduate students and 67% of earned versus attempted hours. Every time you sign up for a class or register for a class, that is an attempted hour. Every time you pass a class, that is an earned hour. So you must make sure that you are meeting at least 67% of earned versus attempted hours along with the 3.0 GPA for graduate school. Next slide, please. Things that can leave students with a balance after the semester has started or is over: registering for classes and not going or stops attending, repeat a past course, withdraw from a course from the university or unofficial withdrawal, receiving all Fs. If the situation presents itself, and we want to retain all our ANC students, but if the situation presents itself where you must leave school, please do so in the official way. Do not just leave class or leave the university without officially withdrawing. That will constitute your aid being reduced and could possibly leave you with a balance. Also, make sure that whatever you are registered for at the beginning of the semester is what you take, because a lot of times your financial aid is based on the number of hours that you registered for. If you register for a certain amount of hours and then drop to a lower amount of hours, your financial aid could be adjusted, leaving you with a balance to the university after your money is paid out or you receive a refund check. Next slide. Not enough funds. There are few options for graduate students. As I said before, this presentation is actually written for undergraduate orientations. But there are certain Education Plus loans that are credit-based and alternative loans that are also credit-based. We recommend alternative loans as last resort because they generally come with a higher interest and are not subject to the same federal guidelines as direct loans are. Next slide, please. The Office of Student Financial Aid will communicate through students through their Aggie email. We will not send emails to any Yahoo or Hotmail or any kind of personal email. It's going to be the email that is generated by the university. Students are encouraged to check their email and Aggie Access regularly, every day, because we're constantly sending out messages. Some of them are generated by actual financial aid representative, and some of them are automatically generated whenever something happens on your account. So you just want to make sure that you keep up to date on all your emails and your Aggie messaging. You can contact us. Our building is located on in the Dowdy building, room 100. Our phone number is 336-334-7973 or toll free at 1-800-443-0835. Also, you can fax any information to us at 336-334-7954. Please allow 24 to 48 hours for any fax to be received, as it is an industrial fax machine that does not generate paper. Anything that you fax to us, you want to make sure your Aggie Access your banner ID number is located in the top right corner of every single page that you fax to us, so it can be directed to your electronic folder. You can reach us on our website, www.ncat.edu/emissions/financial aid. Next slide. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Laretha Graves. I work with the International Students and Scholars Office. We are happy that you have logged in this evening, and I am going to provide general information regarding international students on our campus. What makes us unique are opportunities and our ability to offer international students service learning. We are committed to our students. We host everything with a sense of integrity. We encourage discovery and engagement, and we're also accountable to you as you enroll and matriculate at the university. What makes us special is our diversity, and I believe that you will see a slide in a moment. And we have international students from throughout the world. The majority of the continents are represented. We have students from all over, and at the time you make a formal application to the School of Graduate Studies and or the undergraduate admissions program, we begin communicating with you regarding your eligibility for issuance of I-20. Dr. Campbell has already discussed the deadlines for the grad school, and we work with the graduate school to support those deadlines. Deadlines are set to give you the best opportunity to have a successful visa interview. So when we begin asking international students to provide information to the office, it is so that we can get that certificate of eligibility out to you, and you can begin scheduling the interview at the U.S. Embassy or consulate in your home country. Our office is also responsible for offering programs and activities that promote opportunities for both domestic and international students, as well as our faculty and administrators, to get to know one another and to get to interact with one another. We don't think that it's good to bring you to the United States and not give you a fair opportunity to understand what our students call and what our alumni call Aggie pride. We want you to certainly become a big part of that as you move forward in your career options. I will be available at the appropriate time to answer any specific questions that you have. Again, we're very glad that you have and are participating in this opportunity this afternoon. Dr. Campbell.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Graves, and thank you, Mr. Gregory. We're going to turn now, as we talk about maybe coming from overseas to visit the campus, we're going to talk about visiting the campus now virtually. We have prepared a short video tour, so we're going to encourage you to sit back and enjoy this view of the A&T campus. When we come back from that, you'll have a chance to hear from the faculty and from the graduate students in the School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. So we're moving forward to get the
This is my A&T. When deciding which college to attend, my choice was simple: North Carolina, A&T. I love the campus environment. The modern facilities were designed with students in mind. Lots of open space, complete with state-of-the-art equipment, multiple computer labs, and conservation green technology. This is the place to be. This is my A&T.
Attending North Carolina A&T has been a dream come true. I am the first in my family to attend college, but getting here was not easy. I had to take out several loans, but it was worth it. The opportunities here at A&T are endless, and the faculty really cares about me. This is my A&T. The knowledge I gained in the classroom and during my internship have really shaped me into the person that I want to be. When I leave A&T, I'm not worried about finding a job. There are so many possibilities because A&T has prepared me. This is my A&T.
Thanks to our alumni and friends, we're able to recruit and maintain some of the best and brightest students, faculty, and staff, and administrators here at North Carolina A&T. At North Carolina A&T, we're continually creating an intellectual climate that prepares our students for a broad range of experiences that foster leadership in a global society. During these economic times, more than any time in the past, A&T needs your continued support. In order to continue our legacy, we're counting on you to give. Give from the heart, because this is your A&T. And your gifts really do make a difference.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that virtual tour of the campus. And we'd like to now welcome Dr. Antoine Alston and his faculty, colleagues, and graduate students, because we know that you've expressed an interest in the School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. So, Dr. Alston, thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. My name is Antoine Alston. I serve as the Associate Dean for Academic Studies in the School of Agriculture and Environmental Science. We would like to thank you for choosing the A&T as inquiring about us for your academic studies. Before we can talk about our academic programs in the School of Agriculture, let's talk about what is agriculture. We like to say agriculture is the science, engineering, technology, and math of mankind's human survival. It is our world's largest global enterprise. Since the 1960s, global agriculture has grown dramatically. The world population has grown. As the world's population has grown, so has the need for agricultural commodities to feed an ever-growing world. 4 out of every 10 jobs around the world are connected to agriculture, 40% of our global workforce. By the year 2050, it is projected that the global population is going to be between 9 and 10 billion people. And most of this growth is going to occur in developing countries. And there's going to be a need for agricultural sciences and individuals trained in the advanced techniques in the agricultural sciences, which is why we want you to choose North Carolina A&T for your academic studies. In the U.S., agriculture accounts for our largest industry. Over 17% of the civilian workforce, 23 million jobs are connected to agriculture. It is because of this global workforce and because of the U.S. workforce and the size of it that we need individuals such as yourself to come and major in agricultural studies at North Carolina A&T. We have many exciting academic programs to share with you today. Next slide. What's our number one job in the School of Agriculture? Preparing globally prepared agricultural leaders. We do this by setting high expectations. We have a caring and nurturing environment, and we provide resources for our students. We have a quality faculty. Over 98% of our faculty hold a terminal degree, PhD, in their field, which speaks volumes to the quality of the individuals who you will be interacting with. In the School of Agriculture, we have 4 academic departments with graduate programming and undergraduate program in each one. We have cutting-edge research labs, and we like to say we have the campus' largest laboratory, our 492-acre University Research Farm, as well as our greenhouse facilities and international trade center. We offer 9 bachelor degree programs in the School of Agriculture. We offer 16 areas of concentration, 3 Master of Science programs with 5 areas of concentration, 2 Masters of Arts in Teaching, the MAT program, We're one of three programs and three agriculture programs in the state of North Carolina, and we're the third largest producer of minority agricultural graduates in the country. As far as our graduate programs, we offer the MS in Agriculture Education, which happens to be the oldest graduate degree at North Carolina A&T. In that program, we offer concentrations of professional licensure and professional service for those who want to become licensed high school teachers and or agricultural professionals in government and industry. Excellent. We are very excited about this graduate program, our new MS in Agriculture and Environmental Systems that was just approved. We have concentrations in this program in integrated animal health, agribusiness and food industry management, and that's resources and environmental systems. So within this degree, you can study everything from animal science to plant and soil science, the business of food, or the food industry, the business of agriculture. One of our other programs, our exciting programs, and you have students from this program tonight, is our Food and Nutritional Sciences program, in which you'll have studies in dietetics, food science. You'll learn about the business of human nutrition. Then we also have our Master's of Arts in Teaching and Family Consumer Science Education for those who have an interest in becoming licensed secondary teachers for family consumer science education. We also have our Child Development Master's of Arts in Teaching program for those who like to work with young children and the business of youth development. We have a very great program in that area to prepare you. Excellent. All of our programs in the School of Agriculture that have national accreditations are accredited. We have a strong emphasis on technology, well-equipped lab, and we emphasize internships and co-ops for our students. As has been said before, graduate funding is a very important thing. Our faculty in the School of Agriculture are very active in the area of grantsmanship, and because of this, we are able to provide opportunities for assistantship for our students as well as travel and study abroad opportunities. We have quality students in the School of Agriculture. We are the largest ag program among the nation's historic black colleges and universities, and we have a growing and diverse enrollment. We have 18 student organizations in the School of Agriculture, which really will allow you to have a great experience while you're here. The advantages of obtaining a School of Ag advanced degree: our graduates are sought by employers. Our graduates are entrepreneurs, and they offer a diversity of careers. And our students go on for more advanced degrees, the DVM, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, PhDs, and MDs. Next slide. What are your responsibilities as a graduate student in the School of Agriculture? We want you to be an engaged researcher. Take initiative. Publish your work. Very important. Maintain a sufficient GPA. And, of course, communicate with your major professor. At this time, speaking of major professors, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Dr. Ralph Noble, who is the chairman of the Department of Animal Science.
Good evening. Being from the Department of Animal Sciences, we are the home to the Master of Science with a concentration in integrated animal health systems. This is an area where we focus on factors impacting animal health. And when it comes to things like challenges and some of the seeking issues that address the care and use of animals in our society, then the graduate program in animal science is where you want to be. This is a program, when we look at why you can choose A&T for that program, we have a relatively small student-teacher ratio, so up to about 3 graduate students per professor. In our classes, we normally have a low student-teacher ratio of 1 to 10. Therefore, most likely you'll get individual attention. And we have a number of labs, 7 labs, where you're going to have a lot of hands-on, teacher-based, technology-based approaches. We also have available to us about 14 species of animals. That involves both companion, food, and lab animals. And we have a number of students that have a number of resources that will help us get through our program. When our students graduate, they normally are employed by some of the largest food industries in the country and the world. Areas like Cargill, one of the larger food processors, LabCorp, when it comes to their corporate headquarters, when it comes to Tyson, the largest meat protein producer in the world, and various USDA agencies that are involved with inspection and regulations of our food that we eat. Biotechnology companies that we see a lot of our employment in the research triangle. North Carolina is number 3 in the country in the number of biotech companies here. And our students go on to various universities for employment, as well as graduate school for doctorates and professional schools when it comes to veterinary medicine, medical school, or physician assistants. We have 7 in the research programs at the university in the system, and we're looking forward to have you as one of our students. Next, we will have Dr. Pat Lynch. She's the coordinator for the Food and Nutritional Science program in the School of Ag.
Hi, and welcome to our virtual recruiting process. I'm a professor of Food and Nutritional Sciences. I've actually been at A&T for 8 years. I am a former A&T student, and that is why I'm here. I received my PhD at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln. I'm the advisor of the graduate program and of the Nutrition Club. I teach about 4 of the core classes that you will be taking in our program: nutrition, disease, trace elements, nutrition, health promotion, and practicum. Our research interests involve nutrition and behavior, community nutrition, obesity, social media, food safety, and some other areas. To be successful in our program in Food and Nutritional Sciences Master's Program, students usually have a degree, an undergraduate degree in chemistry, biology, food and nutritional science, or nursing, and sometimes food science. The program is a 2-year program, and the students must be dedicated to their studies. And if they choose thesis option, they need to declare the project title early. Also, participating in university graduate meetings, department meetings, school meetings, and to be informed of events and timelines of our programs. The other area would be to maintain a close relationship with your academic and research advisors. Career type: students from this major find jobs as community nutritionists, food scientists, extension specialists, supervisor, managers, and directors of food services operations, clinical nutritionists, WIC program specialists, consulting dietitians, PhD programs in other institutions. They also university department chairs. They're FCS program leaders. They're directors of child and adult care food programs, quality assurance technicians. They also, we also have some physicians and some dentists and a lawyer that came from our program. Some of the areas, organizations that hire our people include long-term care facilities, Department of Health and Human Services, WIC, the USDA, FDA, universities including North Carolina A&T State University, research laboratories such as the Kannapolis Research Lab and Research Triangle Park, restaurants and food service facilities, the Department of Public Instruction, private practices, and also industries such as Tyson, Cargill, Purdue, Kraft, Surly Bakeries, Hershey, Nestle, Miller Brewing, and other companies. Hospitals also employ our students, Sodexo, Marriott, Fresenius, and the military. I would like to introduce you to one of my students in my program currently, Amber Porter. She can tell you why she's choosing A&T.
Hello, everybody. My name, of course, is Amber Porter. I'm originally from Cherryville, North Carolina, which is a small town about 30 minutes outside of Charlotte. Currently live in Winston-Salem. My background and undergraduate degree is in health and exercise science from Wake Forest University. My area of interest, well, first let me tell you that I am enrolled in the Master's in Food and Nutritional Science program, and I'm concentrating on community nutrition. I'm interested in exploring eating patterns and habits of the African American community, in particular the Black church and faith communities. One of the projects that I was involved in my research class in the fall semester was exploring attitudes and beliefs of church-going African American women toward meatless meals. Why is research and food and nutritional research important in the African American community? Why did I choose that? Well, specifically for African American women, we have higher rates of obesity than other ethnic groups. And so it's important to try to target that demographic. But also, I believe that the church is the central location to impact this sector of the population. Going and targeting church and faith communities could be helpful in promoting healthy practices throughout the rest of the community. And why did I choose North Carolina A&T? I love the small classroom sizes. It really gives you a chance to interact with the faculty on an individual basis. And I really believe that the faculty are truly invested in your learning experience, and they're rooting for you to succeed. And so now, another fellow graduate student, Janae Wade. Hello, I am Janae Wade. I am from Jamaica, Queens, New York. I am currently majoring in Food and Nutrition Sciences in the master's program. As an undergraduate student, I studied at St. Paul's College in Lawrenceville, Virginia. There, I received my bachelor's degree in As an undergraduate student, I studied at St. Paul's College in Lawrenceville, Virginia. There, I received my bachelor's degree in biology pre-med, and I minored in chemistry. I chose to attend A&T for graduate school because I am a big fan of HBCU. I chose to attend. I came here for one to A&T, and I had to make sure I do my research on the university before applying and making a commitment. I learned that A&T has a family and friendly environment, and because I attended at HBCU as an undergraduate, I wanted to make sure that I was able to experience that again, but an even greater one. I also chose to attend A&T because I was offered a 2-year assistantship to help pay my tuition and my living expenses. Under the assistantship I was offered, I was given the opportunity to help assist in multiple researches and to work towards my research project. My research interest is childhood obesity. I plan to do research on African American children in rural communities, monitoring their physical activities and their dietary habits. It is important that we help build our children up to be fit and healthy. Childhood obesity is on a rise, and as an aspiring dietitian, it is my business to help discover why this is so, and most importantly, to help put an end to it. And now we're going to have Millicent Woodruff.
Greetings to all of you out there in Radio Land. My name is Millicent Woodruff. I am from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and my undergraduate degree was in biology from another HBCU, Elizabeth City State University, which is also located in North Carolina. Why I chose A&T? To be quite honest, my family encouraged me to come here, but I just thought they were encouraging me to come here because it was like 30 minutes away from where I stay. They just wanted to keep tabs on me. So I said, let me call the program that I'm interested in, and if the person picks up the phone, then maybe I'll give it a shot. Well, my current mentor now was the one who picked up the phone, and we still roll tight. I guarantee it to you. When I got here, she told me, Millicent, these are the programs that we offer. This is what you have to do. We have small class sizes. And coming from HBCU, I know that the environment is smaller. I always wanted to be the big fish in a little pond as opposed to the little fish in the big pond. So once I got here, she made sure that I had work. I found an assistantship actually working with cooperative extension, which has actually got me a lot of real-world work experience. I see things dealing with agriculture in the community, dealing with the expanded food nutrition program. I've learned how to maximize all my work office skills as well as my time. And I've also been able to increase on some of my hobbies that I used to enjoy, but once you're in graduate school, the workload is different. And the first thing I remember one of the people telling me when I got here is if you don't have a hobby, find one. If you have one, get used to it, enjoy it, because sometimes you need to take a break. My current area of interest, when I came, I actually had a precise thing on what I wanted to do. I'm picky like that, but when I came here, they actually had it. So surprised me, it worked even better. And actually getting to know my mentor and professor, I found a different interest that I had, which was dealing with calcium and minority intakes dealing with it. Since a lot of minorities do have limited calcium intake due to possibly lactose intolerance, or they just it may not be in their diet, we have to find other ways to increase that so that bone health later is actually increased as opposed to losing bone mass. Because once you get over the age of 30, any bone mass that you have slowly decreases over time, and that's something that we want to prevent, especially since as African Americans and other minorities, we're already prone to certain health disparities. So from A&T, I've learned a lot about research, networking, being able to function, which battles to fight, which battles not to fight. It's things that you learn as you grow older, so that way when you do go to a school to work on your terminal degree, you can be well prepared. And also the job outlook is great. I had an interview with University of Kentucky, and I met a lot of people, good contacts, so you're always here. Next, I would like to introduce Satima Washington, another graduate student.
Hello, I'm Satima Washington. I'm originally from Chattanooga, Tennessee. My undergraduate degree was in animal science. I'm currently doing my research on foodborne pathogens such as Listeria, E. coli, Salmonella, Staphylococcus, and the norovirus in fresh produce. I'm doing my research at the Canopolis Research Campus. My research is important because most people are now consuming fresh produce as a part of a healthy lifestyle change, and because of the ongoing outbreaks, such as the recent outbreak of Salmonella linked to cucumbers, in which 84 people were affected in 18 states. I chose North Carolina A&T because of the smaller class sizes, the research opportunities, and the ability to interact with the professors in a one-on-one setting. And now we have Davida Harrison.
Hello, my name is Davida Harrison. I'm from Plainfield, New Jersey. My undergraduate degree was in chemistry, and I'm a first-year graduate student in the Food and Nutritional Science program. My concentration is in food chemistry. I decided to come to A&T because I had the privilege of attending this university as an undergrad. A&T gave me the family-friendly environment I was looking for while being so far from home. In addition, the professors were not only challenging but supportive in my educational journey. I'm still in contact with some of the professors who are genuinely interested in my professional and educational growth. My graduate research is on the functional and nutritional properties of enzyme-treated peanuts. The importance of this research is to reduce the allergenicity of the peanuts and find the best ways they can be utilized in the industry.
Okay, well, thank you to the graduate students and to the faculty. We noticed that a few of you have also sort of dialed in and joined in on the conversation. We'd like to now remind you that you can either raise your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon in the chat window, or you can just type in a question, which will open up now to any of the speakers that you've heard from, either on questions of how to finance graduate school, international applications. You've heard from the faculty as well as the graduate students on the research. So let's take a look at our chat board, see if there's any questions that we might have coming in or anybody raising their hand. That'll be the time to do it. Any chance, again, you can just raise your hand or type your question in. Oh, I should also add that tonight's session, we've got a raised hand. Okay. Do we have a raised hand? Go ahead and ask your question. Yes, go ahead. We can hear you. Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Samira. Did you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you for your question, or thank you for joining us on the virtual open house. What is your question?
So my question was, I am studied home economic. So I really interested to to study nutrition. I don't know if they accept me. Did you give me additional material, or what did you do with me?
Okay, so I think your question, I think you mentioned that your undergraduate major is in nutrition, and yes, go ahead.
So I am looking for graduate, and I want to complete my master. So I am looking for nutrition.
Nutrition. Graduate nutrition. Right. Okay, so the question is, I think, around nutrition studies at the graduate level. That might be a question for the faculty. Dr. Alton, looks like Dr.
Lynch, not Lynch.
We do have a program with the focus in nutrition. Exactly what is your emphasis? I mean, I'm not sure what you're asking.
So because my undergraduate is different nutrition, so it's like home economics.
Okay.
Yeah, if that's possible to study nutrition.
It is. Matter of fact, my undergraduate was home economics with a concentration in dietetics. It's a perfect major. If you're accepted into the program with any deficiencies, we accept you conditionally, and you just take the extra classes that you would need to further the program. So that's a good thing.
Oh, you mean did you give me additional material?
Well, what I mean is once your application has been sent, we review it and look at the courses that you may need to be in the program, okay? So if you need several classes, we may approve you conditionally, so you don't have to worry about additional classes. We would offer those classes that you would need to get into the program. But it's what we call a conditional acceptance. So you take those, and sometimes we have students that may need 2 classes, before getting fully into the program. They take those 2 classes and maintain a GPA of 3.0, and then they're automatically in the program.
Okay.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much for that question. Do we? I think there may be some others that are coming in. Do we have others that maybe might be writing in?
Danielle will be right with you. We have a question from
the question is a 3.0 or higher required to enter graduate school?
If the student does not have a 3.0 can apply to graduate school.
What are options to obtain a 3.0 minimum for acceptance? And we'll have Dr. Dean Campbell answer that question.
Okay, so, excuse me, the question again is whether or not a 3.0 is required for admission. It is not required. A 2.8 GPA is required. That's the minimum required for admission. I would imagine the faculty would say that typically GPAs are higher than 2.8, but to be eligible for what we call unconditional admission is a 2.8 GPA cumulative. Of course, if you are applying to any doctoral program, which I know this department doesn't offer, but anybody who might be interested in a doctoral program, it would need to be at least a 3.0 at the master's for a master's degree. As your grades and transcripts indicate as your GPA, cumulative GPA shows on the transcript. So that's the minimum that's needed. I don't know if the faculty want to talk any more about maybe particular courses or how you look at a GPA during the admission process.
I would like to say, Ms. Crook, although the minimum GPA is a 2.8, sometimes students with, a background within the program and, show us that you're interested in pursuing the program and changing your GPA. If it's lower than that, that means that the student can do what we call a post-baccalaureate program, to get their GPA up, and then transition into the graduate program, That way we don't lose any students. So if you're really interested in the program, you can still apply to the program as conditional student.
Thank you for that question, Danielle. Good question.
Marcel. Danielle is
Excuse me, Marcel.
Danielle, you can ask your question. Danielle, we'll be able to hear you if you ask your question. Okay, Danielle's question is, do you all offer agency counseling? If so, do I need to take the GRE to get in?
It sounds like a question for the School of Education, I think. I don't know if
They do.
They do.
That's a track in the Master of Science and Human Development and Services.
Okay, so I don't know if you heard that, Danielle. Dr. Alston was speaking to the fact that, yes, we do offer that. It's a different school.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll show you online. If you'll just hold tight, we'll walk you through online where to find more information about agency counseling. Just a moment.
You go to the graduate school website at ncat.edu/grad. And if you click on our graduate programs and scroll, you'll see a list of all of our graduate programs, including those mental health counseling, and we offer clinical and rehabilitation. We don't have a track called agency at the moment, but there's mental health counseling, clinical, and rehabilitation. And of course, you can click on these links in your leisure to find out contact information about those programs. Dr. Austin?
I was like, they do have courses within that program, actually specifically geared towards that particular curriculum.
Yeah, and for all of our visitors on today's open house, we encourage you to look at visit our website and to create your user account. And on there, you'll be able to indicate what program you're interested in, and we'd be happy to put you in touch with any of the faculty in those programs. For example, Danielle, you might create your user account so we could put you in touch with the School of Education, and they'd be happy, including those master's programs, to answer any specific questions you have about those. I think we have time for one more either raised hand or chat question before we wrap up this evening. We've had some good questions. Touched on some good topics. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to close here by showing you how to stay in touch with us. Thank you for, again, visiting the virtual open house. You should either like us on our Facebook site or follow us on Twitter. We also have a presence on YouTube, and you'll see our contact information there. We appreciate your interest in A&T, and we look forward to receiving an application from you in the near future. So with that, we're going to sign off. If you have any colleagues, or if you'd like to listen to a recording of tonight's event, that'll be posted on our website here in the near future. So once again, thanks for your interest, and we wish you well and look forward to hearing from you soon.
Okay.